emphasize on the course description and also in the learning outcome, right? So what it will be, yeah, in this, what you will be learning in this class is, of course, the first thing is about what information systems, right? You will see some definition of information systems and somehow what information systems engineering is all about. And also, you will be looking into some parts of modeling, documentation, as well as validation and deployment process of the system, which means this gives you already a rough idea that somehow at the end of the semester, you will be coming up with a small working model. We
Fun.
call a working model. Nampak dekat sini, the course learning outcome. The third one is through prototype. Prototype is also known as working model. Okay, so looking at the learning outcome. Yeah, at the end of the course, you should be able to describe activities of information systems development process, the whole development process. I believe that you have done some sort of development in other classes as well, right? But what makes this class different from others is that you will be going through the development process through a stringent activity. Okay, you will be assessed, you will be evaluated, you will be um, followed through in all the processes that you are going through, yeah, in coming up with that small system of yours, right? So the first one, describe activities of IS development process, starting from identification of the problem and so on. Then conduct appropriate fact-finding technique in gathering requirements. This is the most, I would say, the most important phase in the development process. Okay, so how you are going to gather requirements, what tools that you will be using in gathering requirements. But before you gather requirements, you have to identify who you will be talking to or who you will be liaising with in order for you to gather the requirements. Okay, and the topic of fact finding techniques. There are several techniques that you will be using in gathering requirements, not only one, several techniques, right? And thirdly, to demonstrate IS information systems development development activities through prototype, which means that at the end of the semester, when you are presenting your prototype, you will be assessed not only about the product, but you will also be assessed in terms of the process that you have gone through. Okay, the process that you have gone through. We are not only looking at the product per se. Yeah, the process is as important as the product. Why is the process so important? Because the process will ensure that you will be delivering a quality product. Otherwise, kita tak nak you come up dengan produk yang kata macam cowboy je. Ya, kalau jadi, jadilah. Kalau tak jadi, then nasib tak baik. No, there is some kinds of process that you have to go through in order to develop a system, right? Uh, Next is about the activities that you will be doing in each of the session. Somehow, I I think in the third week or probably the third week, yeah, the third week we will be looking into, or third or fourth, yeah, we'll be giving you the description of your class project. Let me go through the assessment first. Okay. Right. In terms of assessment, there will be tests, but only one test. Okay, in the middle of the semester, then you will have 40, a test contributes to 20%. Then project, yeah, this is what it means by class project just now that I mentioned. 20% for the proposal and 20% for the final prototype. All right, and final exam, you will be having a written final exam, written assessment for your final exam during the exam week. and that contributes to 40%. So 60%, total 60% as individual assessment and 40% as group assessment. Okay, that is why daripada hari itu lagi saya telah mohon kepada you all untuk form groups 5 to 6 in a group. Okay, alright. And sekejap ya, test dekat sini. This one contributes to the 20%, right? InsyaAllah. Okay. Alright, that is about the scheme of work. So far, are you okay? Regarding the scheme of work, any questions?
No questions as of now. Thank you.
As of now, all right, thank you. Okay, so similarly to other classes, probably, yeah, you have the individual part of assessment, you will also have the group assessment. So please ensure that you are choosing the members that you can work with, yeah, for the group project. All right. Hold on, yeah, for CS264, I believe that you are also taking ISP640 this semester, kan? Project management, computing project management, betul?
I think this semester we are not taking that.
Oh, okay, sorry, you are taking part 5, sorry, part 5. 259, do you have the project management course this semester? Or have you taken it last semester?
Tak ada.
Tak ada?
Tak ada. 640 tak ada.
ISP 640 tak ada?
SEM tak ada.
Tak ada
640 tak ada.
Tak ada.
Ke? Oh, tak kira you ambil masa part 6 ke? Tak sure.
Tak sure.
Okay, tak apa. Sebab kalau mana-mana kumpulan yang ada mengambil ISP 640, saya selalunya will ask you to stick to the group. Senang, satu projek aja untuk 2 kelas. That's my intention. Tapi so since you all tak ada, then you have to form the groups lah accordingly. Right? Okay. All right. Then since there is no question about the scheme of work, please remember that you will be you are required to form groups. Yeah. So during tutorial, the first few weeks for the tutorial, probably not much will be discussed except that the theoretical parts. Yeah. But once you have started to embark on the project, in the tutorial session, I will be looking into the progress. Sama juga dengan Puan Fauziah, kami akan melihat kepada progress of your group project during tutorial session. So you have any questions, probably small section of presentation to show that you are progressing. Yeah, so will be done in the tutorial sessions. Okay. All right. Then saya nak tahu ada tak sesiapa yang ada masalah dengan internet? Accessibility. Any of you have gone back to the campus? Are you in the campus?
Not yet.
Not yet. Semua dekat rumah lagi ya?
Yeah.
Some of I think most dekat rumah.
Mostly semua kat rumah lagi. Okay, tak apa. But setahu saya you kena balik campus after the Deepavali ya? Kena ke ataupun you have the option?
Tak tahu pun info ni.
I think option.
Tak pernah dengar. Tak pernah dengar dia.
Nanti saya kejap ya, saya forward. This is the one that I get for saya letak dekat WhatsApp nanti. Ini yang saya dapat lah. Pelajar kembali mengikut fasa.
Madam, but a
Yeah.
few of us are already in campus.
Yeah, ada ya.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that some of you are already in the campus. It's your option anyway. But I don't know after Deepavali tu adakah semua compulsory to come back ke apa, wallahu alam. Okay. But anyway, I'm working from home at the moment. Yeah, but if you need to see me or anyone in the campus would like to see me physically for whatever reasons, just let me know. I'll try to set an appointment. Yeah, to go back to the campus. Masalahnya bilik tu dah lama tak masuk dan berdebu. I couldn't find a cleaner to get rid of the mess. Tak apa. Small problem anyway. Okay. So kalau tak ada apa-apa nak bincang tentang scheme of work, apa yang saya dah terangkan tadi, can we start with lecture 1, introduction to ISE. The notes saya dah upload dekat Google Classroom. Right? Okay. You see this, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, madam, you
Okay.
see.
Okay. So, not much about what we are discussing here. You okay?
Okay, madam.
Okay. Right. This is the introductory
Ada
part.
orang nak masuk.
Ada orang nak masuk. Saya dah auto admit sebenarnya. Tapi I don't know why. Ada yang tak boleh masuk lagi. Sekejap. Ada siapa lagi nak masuk? Please ya. Saya tak nak disturbed during my lecture. So that's why please be on time. Yeah. Okay, so we will be looking into the definition of ISE, several applications, several types of IS applications, as well as a bit of ethical issues. I'm not emphasizing much on the ethical issues because I believe that you have one dedicated course just on ethics that will be taken in part 6. Yeah, normally students will be taking one dedicated course. I forgot the name of the course, sorry. But the course is basically dedicated for ethical issues. Yeah, for ethicals, for ethics and so on, that is offered in part 6. Okay, anyway, let's start off with the definition of information systems engineering. And this definition comes from a paper that was presented in it's a conference on ISE before. Okay, somehow definition, yeah, this is the definition. Why do you need to know the definition? Because you are going to identify whether the system that you will be looking into is an information systems or not. You will have to understand what are the components of information systems and what do they do. Okay, so that is the main idea of why the definition is needed so much. Now, we look at the definition of information systems. Yeah, they are computer-based infrastructures, organizations, personnel, and components. And what do? They collect, process, store, yeah, transmit, display, disseminate, and act on information system on information. That is about information system. So they stand of several components. We'll be looking into the components later, but somehow these components will be working together. And what do they do? This is what the task of the systems, right? And generally provide computer-based assistance to people engaging in the environment, as illustrated in figure 1, where engagements and environments are often too complex and dynamic to be handled manually. So you see this. This is the design, or this is the real world, whereby you can see the people working with papers, the physical way of working. Somehow, this is translated. These are actions, these actions are translated into in terms of computer-based, detected by some kinds of sensors, could be sensors, could be sensors, into computer-based information systems. Now, we are emphasizing on the usage of computer-based assistance. Now, information systems has existed long way before, very, very long way before, because that is how people use in order to communicate, in order for them to collect some information, in order for them to process, in order for them to disseminate information. But probably the technology then was not computer based. Okay, I'm sure that you have seen some movies before, movies yang ada apa ni, ada Red Indians, cowboys and so on kan. So Red Indians ni normally they do communicate from one tribe to another, although they are distantly apart, but they are able to communicate. Masa tu ada handphone tak? Tak ada kan? Okay, so how did they communicate then? Computer based? Asap. It was asap based, smoke based. Okay, so that was the technology then. But now we are using the computer as the technology on how to do all the activities as being mentioned in the definition. Ni semua-semua ni kita guna pakai computer to do all this. So when we talk about information systems, we cannot run away from using the computer as the technology, right? Okay. Continuation of definition, right? So complex dynamic engagement, draw conclusion from an abstracted representation of the world tadi, right? Which enables them to make discrete decisions to achieve a desired effect, in the world commensurate with their roles, tasks, and capabilities of the people. And the abstraction is sometimes portrayed as a hierarchy. What's the hierarchy? It starts off with data, the lowest in the hierarchy, moved on to information, right? Then knowledge and also wisdom. What's the difference between D, I, K, and W? The data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So based on the definition of this paper ni, from data to wisdom ni, tengok kat sini. That's the reference. Okay. So data, ni definition setiap satu. Data, smallest symbolic units. Then information is the processed data, a more abstract understanding of the data derived by fusing data, combining the data. All right, then knowledge, these symbols are sufficiently abstract to enable people to make decisions about and interact in their environments, knowledge. Now, we make decisions. The key word here is making decisions. We make decisions every now and then. So in order for us to make decisions, we need to have knowledge. Okay, for instance, decision of what to eat, what to have during lunch. Najah Munira?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, what do you have for your lunch?
I haven't had lunch.
You haven't had lunch, why?
The food's not here yet.
You ordered the food?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what food did you order?
Nasi goreng.
Alhamdulillah. Excuse me. Nasi goreng.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you order nasi goreng?
Um, I mean,
Uh-uh.
that's the only thing on the menu.
That's the only thing in the menu?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure that's the only thing in the menu?
I mean, there are like a lot of types of nasi goreng, but I got
Uh-huh.
like most of them are nasi goreng.
Most of them are?
Nasi goreng.
Most of them are nasi goreng. So you
Yeah.
have varieties of nasi goreng and you choose
Mm-hmm.
one nasi goreng.
Yeah.
Okay, what makes you choose the one?
Because it has eggs and I like eggs.
Because it has eggs. Okay. What else?
It's cheap.
It's cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in order for you to make the decision on which nasi goreng of your choice, you need to have the knowledge of price. That's
Yeah.
one. The content of the nasi goreng, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So itu adalah analogy yang saya guna pakai, ya, bila you nak buat decision. The knowledge that you need to have in your context just now, Najah, ya.
Yeah.
In your context just now, the knowledge that you have in order for you to make the decision is about the price and the content of the food.
Yeah.
Alright. So I would say that whatever decision that you are making must be based on certain kinds of knowledge. Okay, so that's why it says that knowledge is a combination of information with necessary data and judgment of historical patterns, or we call it as experience. Now, if you have had the experience, yeah, you ordered the nasi goreng, but somehow it doesn't taste good, will you be ordering it again?
If it's not good, then I would find
Uh-huh.
someplace else to order.
Nobody wants to repeat
Yeah.
the same thing if it is not good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is what we call as historical patterns. The experience that you have, contributes to the knowledge. Okay. Now, what about wisdom? The topmost in the hierarchy. Okay, the topmost in the hierarchy we call it wisdom. This is the knowledge combined with insights and common sense. Now, experience is the one that you had. But we talk about insights and common sense, probably not only experience that you had, yeah, the knowledge may also come from other people. All right, you ordered something through you are doing shopping online a lot right now, right? Through Shopee, for instance. Okay, can you describe how, okay, apa yang selalu beli kat Shopee? Sekejap, mana saya nak panggil ni? Aizat Yunus? Are you here?
Yeah, yes. I'm here.
Okay. Apa yang selalu beli dekat Shopee? Ke Lazada ke apa-apa lah?
Di selalu di jarang beli kat Shopee.
Jarang beli?
Saya beli kadang beli kasut lah.
Kasut, okay, kasut. Kasut you beli online ke? Okay.
Kalau ada sale.
Kalau ada sales, okay. So, you beli daripada mana? Shopee?
Shopee.
Okay. Alright. So, you nak beli kasut through Shopee. Can you explain the steps?
Okay, start. So, pertama sekali tengok apa, selalu akan tengok yang ada sale lah.
Okay, satu sales knowledge you it's about the price lah.
The price lah.
Okay.
Price. Then compare harga asal dengan yang dengan dah promotion yang
promotion price. Okay. Then
tengok ada voucher tak.
Voucher, okay.
Voucher. Additional voucher. Then tengok kualiti dia juga.
Quality macam mana nak tengok quality kalau online Baca
uh,
je lah.
baca je description tu. And then beli je. Then check
Right.
out. Yes.
Yes, Iqbal, from reviews, from other
Yeah.
customers reviews kan?
Yeah.
Okay. You tengok dekat shop rating tak?
Tengok shop rating selalu 4.5 and above.
Okay.
Then
Alright. Okay, so shop rating tu adalah salah satu daripada maklumat yang kita guna pakai, that is experience from other people, tapi kita guna pakai untuk kita buat decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is also considered to be wisdom. Now, you kata benda ni bagus apa semua, tapi bila you tengok shop rating, tengok reviewer kata, oh, this is a scam. Kan, this shop is a scam. Will you proceed in buying?
Nope.
Bodoh lah kan kalau beli juga orang dah kata scam kan?
Yeah.
Betul tak?
Betul.
Kan, right? So you tak ada experience lagi being scammed, but then other people has had that kind of experience. So you are using the experience of other people in order for you to make the decision. Okay, so this is considered to be the wisdom because you mendengar, melihat kepada insights and common sense from that is being experienced by other people, right? Okay, so this is the definition of information systems engineering. Yeah, continuation dia. Application of formal methods. Yeah, formal methods of analysis to create operational systems. Okay, it incorporates multiple technologies and process that must be designed and developed. So, secara ringkasnya saya nak cakap ialah bila kita bercakap tentang ISE ni, right? It is about development of an information systems, but through formal methods of analysis, and then it has to be properly designed and developed according to rigorous engineering standards. Okay, now we talk about engineering. Kita tahu bahawa we know about the physical engineering. What I mean by physical engineering is that about this civil engineering, electrical engineering, chemical. Those are tangible things that are being engineered. But when we talk about information systems, right, it is not a tangible product. We are not talking about a tangible product. Software systems, it is not a tangible product. They are all intangible. But we are adapting the engineering discipline that has been applied in this on those tangible products per se, into our context of information systems. Right. You tengok, if you have friends, especially in civil ke, kalau nampak yang paling banyak adalah civil, yang buat jalan raya, yang buat bangunan, can you simply develop or can you simply bina rumah without a proper plan? Tak kan? Kecuali kalau nak buat ruban ayam pun you have to know, okay, in terms of measurement dia, berapa height dia, takkan nak potong kayu suka-suka hati and then the ruban ayam will be sengit and so on. Right? Nak buat ruban ayam pun ada proper discipline that you have to follow. Apatah lagi bila kita nak buat bangunan yang tinggi. So, those engineering processes are adapted, in our context of coming up with information systems. That is in short what I am saying about. Okay, about ISE, Information Systems Engineering. Okay, so next is the STEM or the definition, Information Systems Engineering, IS Information Systems as well as Systems Engineering. Ada juga yang define dia macam tu. Okay. Sekejap excuse me. Okay, somehow we will have we will be looking into the components of information systems nanti as we go along, but this is another thing that I would like to emphasize, right? ISE considers both the business and technical needs of all customers with the goal of providing quality product that meets the user needs. So maknanya di sini, ya, tolong dengar baik-baik bahawa when we talk about ISE, especially in this class, you don't only consider the technical needs. Alright. First, you have to understand the business needs. That is why in your group project, you are supposed to identify a business organization. Tentang apa nanti saya akan terangkan as we go along, right? You will have to identify business organizations. Yang tadi saya dah mention bahawa in the second learning outcome, you will have to gather requirements through several techniques, requirements gathering techniques, which means that you will have to interact with people in the organization to understand their business needs. The technical needs are there to support in the process of implementation of the IS. But of course, you have to understand first about the business that you are going to deal with. Right? Okay. Next is about types of information systems. Right? So, kat sini kita akan tengok apa the components of IS. Right. So, system, we talk about system, yeah, it is an interrelated components that function together to achieve a desired result. Kita bila kata sistem, satu sistem tu dia bukan just macam seketul batu yang komponen dia hanyalah batu sahaja. Tak. Okay, a system consists of several components. Depends on the system. So when we talk about information systems, what are the components? It is an arrangement of people, data, processes, and also IT. Okay, IT ni termasuklah hardware, software, as well as telecommunications. That is further elaborated here. But somehow, when we talk about IS, kita tak boleh get rid of the components of people. Ya, ini kita akan tengok dalam topik 2 nanti dengan lebih lanjut. Data. Ini yang siapa dah ambil database dengan saya ni, yang saya cakap tadi. Okay, the data that is stored in the database, right, will be used in order to implement the information systems. Whatever database that you dah belajar dulu. So kenapa nak belajar database ni? Because it constitutes as a very major component for an information systems, right? Then processes. Okay, there are processes that will be designed, that will be built, yeah, for the information systems to work. And this component, they work together, yeah. Okay, that function together to achieve a desired result. So, if you are saying that you are developing a system, that particular system, ya, mesti ada objektif untuk achieve a desired result. Untuk apa sistem ni? Mesti ada function dia. Mesti ada sebab kenapa sistem itu dibangunkan. Dan dalam sistem tersebut ada komponen seperti ini. Okay. And provide as output the information needed to support an organization. That is why before you derive to the system that you are developing, you will have to understand the organizational business needs. It's very significant to understand that, right? Then IT as part of the components of IS, yeah, this is a contemporary term that describes the combination of computer technology with telecommunications. Yeah, since we are using the computer now, the technology is the technology for the information is computer, right? And types of IS, apa dia? Several types of IS. I believe that this is also some kinds of revision to you. Dah tahu dah. Yeah, revision ini. First type is transaction processing. This is an information system that captures and processes data. Basic transactions yang berlaku, maka apa TPS buat ialah dia akan capture dan proses data about transactions. For instance, okay. Sekarang you dah daftar kan? Dah daftar kelas kan? Okay. You daftar kelas melalui sistem apa? Amirul, e-course registration. Okay. Can you describe what e-course registration is all about? Only to register? Okay. Okay. So the system will be capturing the courses that you are registering, calculate the total credit hours that you are taking, and probably to generate your attendance for the lecturers who will be teaching the classes. Okay, itu adalah transaction processing because they capture data, process data. Okay, the basic ones. Contoh paling senang you pergi makan, sekarang dah boleh dine in kan? Okay, di kedai you order makanan, although the waiter is taking the order on piece of paper, that is also a system. Cumanya dia bukan pakai computer based system, kecuali restaurants yang guna pakai tab or whatever, right? So the system to take order is through pen and paper, dan dia hantar ke kitchen, and the cook or the chef will be preparing the food and the waiter will serve the food to you. Once you are done eating, you go to the cashier. The cashier will then key in, kalau dia ada POS point of sale terminal, dia akan key in the food and drinks that you have taken and then produces the total amount to be paid. And when you make the payment, right, it will be recorded as paid. Okay, that is transaction processing. A transaction was done and the point of sale terminal captures the amount of payment that has been made. At the end of the day, probably an administrator or a manager will then calculate all the payment that has been made. Berapa banyak they make this on that particular day, probably. There's transaction processing. Okay, now nama transaction processing ni is very general. You can never go to an organization and ask the people there, cik, ini transaction processing system ke? Okay. It could be a transaction processing system, or it could be a combination of transaction processing with other systems that I will be mentioning later. But they have their own names for it. The organization have dedicated names for that. Okay, the ones that are listed in the slides are just general names. Okay, dengan fungsinya. Kalau transaction processing, apa dia buat? Kalau MIS and information system provides for management-oriented reporting based on transaction processing. So for instance, at the end of the month, tadi restaurant tadi dia nak tahu how much they have made for the month, right? So tadi the point of sale captures all the information about the paid transactions, and then at the end of the month, the management will be presented by a report saying that, okay, this month we have made this much, but on top of that, we also have spent this much on raw materials. Those are the things that are needed by the management in terms of reporting. So bila masuk kepada reporting, ia akan involve kepada sistem yang bernama MIS, Management Information Systems, right? Next, DSS. DSS and information systems that either helps to identify decision-making opportunities or provides information to help make decisions. Okay, so MIS Dan saya akan lukis lah ya in terms of levels of management and so on. Tak apa, you tengok dahulu bahawa ini adalah types of information systems that are available in the outside world. Right? Ada expert system, ada communication and collaboration, and also ada office automation. Okay. All right. So this is just a diagram to show that information systems and the types of them. Okay. So far, so good. No question?
Good. Idea.
No question,
Alright.
Doctor.
Okay. Right. Next is about application types. Okay, so there are several, or we can generalize that into two. Yeah, one is generic products, one is customized products. So generic products are standalone systems that are marketed and sold to any customer who wishes to buy them. For instance, Microsoft Office, yeah, or you have the CAD software, or the software that you can buy on the shelf, yeah, off the shelf products. Those are generic products. But when we talk about customized products, this is commissioned by specific customer to meet their own needs. Yeah, for instance, yeah, example, embedded control systems, air traffic control software, traffic monitoring system. Macam ni lah. Dia analogi dia macam baju. Ada baju yang kita pergi saja dekat kedai dan kita fits you. Yeah, it fits you for the purpose. Then you purchase it. Otherwise, probably you need to have specific requirements. Then you akan pergi kepada customer with your own material, pergi pada customer, you tell them your specific needs. Alright, and they will customize it accordingly. So software pun macam tu, ada yang generic, you can just buy off the shelf, and setengah tu memang tak boleh, you kena approach a software company to develop it for you. Yeah. Okay. Then, what about the application types? There are standalone applications. Masih diguna pakai. Apa dia standalone applications ni? Dia application ni hanya boleh diguna pakai pada satu komputer sahaja, not connected to any network. So if you wish to use the application, you have to go to that dedicated computer yang ada application tu. Cannot go to other computers because it is not connected. That is what you call as standalone applications. Right? Not popular nowadays, but still available. Ada lagi. Right? Because yang ini memang tak guna pakai network langsung. Yeah. Secondly is interactive transaction-based applications. Yeah, these applications execute on a remote computer and are accessed by users from their own PCs or terminals. Contohnya web applications. And this is the one that you are coming up with. Yeah, for your class group project, it will be a web application. Probably web, probably mobile, but not a standalone application. Right? Then we also have the embedded control system. Ini selalunya it's an integration between the electrical engineering, us, the computer specialist, probably some people from mechanical as well. Yeah, because they are the control systems that control and manage hardware devices. Contohnya, washing machines, right? Washing machines ada controller kan? Okay, you can set timer, you can set the type of wash that you want. So they have software embedded into the devices. Yeah. Sekejap ya, ada disturbance betul. Sekejap ya. Okay, sorry for that. Right. Next is about batch processing systems. Yeah. Batch processing systems, they are systems that are designed to process data in large batches.
Hello.
I normally give the example of your registration system before you have
Really?
the online registration system for the courses, yeah. Before this,
Bodoh
before we
member
have
aku
the
ajak gerak
web-based
pasal
online registration systems,
Kumpat.
what students
Cikgu
used to
macam
do is
malas
that
lah, Mat.
every time when they
Nak
come
main
back
game je lah, babi.
for the new semester, they are given some kinds of forms to be filled
Ya tu.
up, right? And
So aku apa? Aku cakap lah kat member aku, weh ada kelas lah, Mat.
and
Tiba.
each forms will be filled up
So aku cakap ada
accordingly,
kelas,
and
member
then
kata
will
tak
be
apa, aku tunggu.
collected
Macam sial
by
lah.
the administrative office. Each students, yeah, will have submit their forms to the administration office, and the administrative offices will be collecting the forms. And once they have reached the due date, the compiled forms will be sent to the data center. The data center is now sama macam sekarang ni. The data center sekarang ni dekat bangunan menara tu tingkat 6. That was the data center before. So the forms will be submitted there to be keyed in by data entry operators clerk. Okay, they are the ones who are called the experts. Experts in entering the data. So their task is to enter the data as how you have filled up the form. I don't know whether you can imagine this or not, because I believe that once you all masuk UiTM je dah semua pakai web-based application kan. Okay, but this was how the registration was conducted before. Okay, maknanya apa yang saya terangkan ialah batch processing, ialah data tu dikumpulkan dahulu, okay, by one center. Then the documents will be sent to the office yang bertanggungjawab tu untuk dimasukkan. So maknanya macam sekarang kalau you register, you dah boleh tengok terus kan apa courses yang you register, but not then. Ya, you kena tunggu sehingga tarikh yang berkenaan. Selepas selesai proses pendaftaran tersebut dijalankan, barulah you dapat lihat the courses that you have registered. That is the batch processing. Okay. All right. Another application is about entertainment systems. You know what they are, the games, right? And also systems for modeling and simulation. This one you can get from in the game arcades, yeah. For instance, you boleh naik motor tu kan. Yes, it simulates the real motor, simulates the real bike. You can see on the screen, cornering ke apa ke, IQ simulation. Okay, those are also the application types, right? Okay. Then we also have data collection systems, yeah. Whereby these are the systems that collect data from the environment using a set of sensors and then send data to other systems for processing. Contohnya tentang weather systems, sistem cuaca. Okay, they collect data from the environment, collect data about the precipitation and so on, and then they try to forecast the weather for the upcoming days, for the upcoming months probably. Okay, and next is about systems of other systems. This is complicated ones, nested systems. Okay, I would like to, hold on here. I would like to explain on the types of IS. Hold on, yeah. Based on the levels of management. So far, you good?
Still following
Yes.
F1.
Okay. Right. Sekejap ya, saya buka canvas. Okay. You see this canvas? Yeah, right.
Yes.
I'm about to explain on the levels of management. I believe that you have taken some kinds of management courses before, right? So in any organizations, yeah, they apply some sort of levels of management. Dan dia berbentuk segitiga. Kenapa segitiga? Dalam mana-mana organizations, yeah, they have what we call as, this is the low level management. Okay, this is the middle level. And this is the top level. Kenapa triangle? Can somebody answer kenapa triangle? They represent manusia kan? The number of people in the levels, right? So we have the top level, middle level, and the low level, and it applies in all business units that exist in the organization. Saya rasa mungkin you belajar juga dalam ISP500 before, yeah. All of you have taken ISP500, right? So all business units, meaning to say that whatever department that the organization holds, they have these levels of management. So be it the HR department, be it the marketing department, yeah, probably be it the finance, okay, be it the IT department, they have all this. Maknanya IT department ada dia punya manager, HR department ada manager lain, marketing department ada manager lain. So for instance, let's say the IT department ni nak buat projek, okay, dan memerlukan people from HR. Okay. Dia tak boleh simply minta somebody from HR from this level to join their project macam tu je. Tak. The manager from the IT department will have to talk to the manager in the HR department. They will have to communicate so that the HR manager will be assigning the correct person to be involved in the project that will be embarked by the IT department. Dia ada hierarchical level macam tu ya. Okay, you have to understand that. Now, what I'm about to explain is regarding the types of information systems seperti mana yang kita bincang tadi. Now, for this, tadi kita dah bincang ada transaction processing kan? Okay. So transaction processing system, management information systems, and decision support systems. So basically transaction processing systems are used by the lower level departments in an organization to function dia sama, to capture the business transactions that is being done. Okay. Somehow the data captured by the TPS will then be used by another system called MIS. Okay. Ini yang kita sebutkan pasal reporting tadi. Okay, sorry guys, I'm supposed to record this meeting, but saya lupa. So next time, please remind me to record. Okay. So MIS is used for reporting. And what about DSS? DSS are used by the top level management to assist them in making decisions. But somehow the data used in DSS also come from the data derived from MIS, which is actually daripada TPS juga. Cumanya it is a summarized data. The people in the top level kat sini, dia tak nak tengok the detail. For instance, dekan faculty.
Ni XJ yang first kali.
Dalam mesyuarat
Ni sekarang dia nak campur penik pada
jawatan
6
kuasa akademik faculty, dekan akan tanya berapa orang dapat anugerah naib chancellor for those yang graduate, ataupun berapa orang dapat anugerah dekan untuk setiap program. Itu saja yang dekan nak tahu. Dekan tak nak tahu setiap orang tu berapa CGPA dia, apa courses dia, berapa A, apa semua, tak nak tahu. Okay, so this top level normally would go for the summarized data. And those summarized data will be used by them to making further decisions. For instance, when they have obtained the data, siapa yang dapat, kalau ANC tu dah graduate lah, siapa yang dapat above 3.5, then they akan suggest some kinds of programs to them untuk exchange program ke whatever. Okay, so itu adalah penggunaan data untuk digunakan dalam sistem yang selanjutnya. Okay, so my intention here is to explain where the types of IS are being used in the organization. But please remember that these names are generic names. The organizations may have the names of the systems of their own, and the system might be a combination of all this. Right? So just bear in mind that when you go out to the organization to identify problems and so on and whatnot, don't ask them, encik, apa MIS kat sini Tak ada. They don't have, they normally they won't have such kinds of we call that generic terminology for the systems. Okay. So you will have to study about the systems that is implemented in the organization and then identify sistem ni sebenarnya transaction processing ke DSS based on the functions that they do in the organization. You get what I mean? Okay. All right. All clear, yeah? Okay. Okay, so the third part of today's lecture is about ethics. Saya tak nak emphasize banyak on ethics because as I have mentioned, you will have a dedicated course on ethics in part 6. Sedikit sahaja because ini sebenarnya these things are general knowledge. General knowledge in the sense that you know what confidentiality is, right? Some the data, because when you work later, the data will be at your hand. Okay, sekarang ni kebanyakan macam hari tu kan ada keluar kes bahawa data kita dekat Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara is being sold and so on kan. Sama ada betul atau tidak, wallahu alam. But if the data is being sold, then hancur lah dia punya ethics dia. It's not professional at all. Okay. So when we talk about ethics, it's all about confidentiality, competence, So being engineers, ini kita guna pakai terminology engineers lah because course kita is information systems engineering. They're supposed to develop information systems engineers. Although the post or the position dekat luar tu tak ada yang dedicated bernama jurutera sistem maklumat, tapi somehow tugas dia, peranan dia banyak kepada ciri-ciri itu. Okay, so engineers should not misinterpret their level of competence. They should not knowing the exact word which is out with the competence. You should know your strength, your weaknesses. Jangan sebab project ni besar and then you get good perks and so on, tapi you tak ada knowledge about it, you nak venture into it. Tak boleh. Kalau nak juga, then you have to equip yourself with the proper knowledge, right? Dan intellectual property rights, so you know what they are, computer misuse and so on, Janganlah main games waktu kerja. Okay. Then relationship between ethical, social and political issues, this one, tentang information rights and obligations with regards to political issues, social issues. No, I'm not going to emphasize all that so much. What's important is that you know who you are supposed to be doing what you are supposed to do diligently, okay, with good quality, right? At the moment sebelum menjadi information systems engineer punya roles, you are a student. Okay, so being a student, you should be applying the ethics of the students, yang mana of course you have to abide by the peraturan akademik university. When assignment are given to you, you are supposed to do it accordingly. Okay, when you are doing your test, you are not supposed to plagiate. Okay, you are not supposed to copy. You are not supposed to search in Googles for answers. That is the ethics of a student. Yang mana saya rasa benda tu semua adalah common sense. Right? So saya nak highlight ini sahaja. Okay. Moral dimensions. Sepatutnya moral ni kita dah complete sebagai Muslims. We have our ideal we call that uswatun hasanah. Rasulullah dah ada sebagai kita punya reference. Okay, akhlak dia macam mana. So ikutlah dia. Sempena Maulidur Rasul kan. Bukanlah sempena Maulidur Rasul. Maulidur Rasul ni pun khilaf tarikh dia. But tak payahlah nak ikut sempena Maulidur Rasul sahaja. Right? Ikutlah dia sepanjang hidup kita kalau nak hidup kita selamat. Right? So I will just give you the last slide regarding hadis Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best amongst you are those who have the best manners and character. So jaga akhlak. So ethics is all about akhlak. So kita punya reference is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is from Sahih Bukhari 3559. Right? Okay, and that wraps up today's lecture. So please bear in mind about the definition of information systems regarding the components, regarding the functions, okay? Then types of IS that I've mentioned just now, especially the ones that is used in the organizations, and a bit on the ethical issues. Okay?
Okay, madam.
Okay, madam.
Ada apa-apa pertanyaan setakat ni? For no tak ada. Okay, sekejap ya. Untuk besok cuti. Besok kelas saya dengan siapa ya? My tutorial session tomorrow is with Masya Allah. 4A. Okay, 4A. 4A you belum bagi senarai kumpulan kan?
Belum.
Tolong set up the groups and post the list in the WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, madam.
Okay, untuk ISP550 you boleh direct dengan Puan Fauziah terus. You can send me the copy of the group list as well. Yeah. Just for my acknowledgement, tapi it will be followed closely by Puan Fauziah as well. Yeah.
Tu pun kau jangan syalam ke?
Okay. Ada apa-apa nak tanya setakat ni?
Madam, attendance is on you future kan?
Sepatutnya on you future. Sepatutnya on your future. Memang sepatutnya everything on,
Dia
bukan
form apa?
everything
Tak
lah.
ada ni
You
Automatic
log on to your future, mark your attendance and get your Gmeet link from there. So hari ni tak boleh sebabnya saya sendiri tak boleh nak log on to your future.
Oh, maknanya diploma
Semalam
dia
saya dah set. Dekat your
ni
future
lah,
saya dah
computer
set
science lah,
schedule with Gmeet link and so on. Tapi hari ni saya nak buka balik tak boleh. Your future tak boleh.
lain.
Okay. Subsequently insyaAllah kita go through your future jugalah. For attendance purposes. Yeah. Right. So kalau tak ada apa-apa, hari ni is just a short session for 1 hour a bit. Okay. So untuk topik 2 dan selanjutnya nanti saya akan uploadkan the notes. Right. Okay. Okay all? Alright.
Okay, madam.
Alright then.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much for
Thank you,
that session.
madam.
Assalamualaikum
Thank you, madam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, madam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam. Have a nice
madam.
day.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.